Wah, 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 wah. Yes, I know. You're probably watching this because you are a magician. And I get it. That probably wasn't the best thing you've ever seen before in your life. My name's Dan Candell. I used to be a magician and I still do it as a hobby, but I no longer actively do shows. I want to talk to you about the pivot that I've made, and I actually made that pivot about 18 years ago, and how you can make the pivot too. And it is how to add more gigs to your calendar. When I was a magician, I was doing 4 to 5 shows a day on the weekends to help pay my way through college, everything like that. It was absolutely fantastic. But I get sick and tired of carrying around all the props. I get sick and tired of relying on an assistant to travel with me when I was doing illusion shows and everything like that. And to be honest with you, I didn't like performing for kids' parties that much anymore. So I got out of magic. And one other thing I really didn't like was when I would buy a magic trick and I would spend like $80 on this trick, and they'd send like a Bic pen that's worth like all of 6 cents, and they'd send you the instructions of how to do the flip stick move to make it disappear or something like that. So I made this pivot. And this pivot actually got me charging way more for shows because I no longer do magic shows. I'm a stage hypnotist. I've been doing stage hypnosis since, about the year 2000. So about 18 years ago is when I made this pivot. And it was pretty awesome because it got me known as this big stage hypnotist, where I started opening for celebrities. I performed alongside with Slash from Guns N' Roses and everything like this. And I don't think I would have gotten that opportunity if I was a magician. And here's why. Number one is, and again, I'm still a fan of magic. I love I love magic. I love magicians. Please don't take this the wrong way. But about 4 days ago, I was doing a corporate hypnosis show for a holiday party. I did an hour show. When they first called me, I asked them, hey, what other entertainers have you guys had in the past? They said, well, last year we had a magician. The magician charged us $300, and all the magicians we called were between like $300 and $500. So, okay, all right. I said, to be honest with you, hypnotist, we charge a lot more than $300 to $500. And she said, well, what do you charge? I said, well, I personally charge $2,500 for a 1 hour show. And she's like, all right, perfect. So we actually booked other acts in the past. We were surprised that every magician that we called in the area charged like under this amount. So doing hypnosis shows, it raised the bar for me and many of my students. It raises the bar for them. Many of my students have been magicians, DJs before, and many of them have actually pivoted full time into doing stage hypnosis as I did. And it really is a wonderful thing to add. Now, how can this add more shows to your calendar? We're going to get to this right now. How can this add more shows to your calendar? When you learn stage hypnosis, you can go through your list of places or people that you've performed for, because hopefully you have a list. Hopefully you've performed for places before. And the subject line of the email will be Dan Candell, or your name, now offering stage hypnosis shows. And it's something that gets attention. And also wanting attention is my cat, Chester. Everyone say hi to Chester. Okay, Chester, Daddy's working. There we go. Bye, Chester. So just made the cat disappear. So anyway, I crack myself up, I know. So one of the things to do is send an email with that headline. And and this is the truth for many entertainers, we look at what our competition is doing. And we often ask a question, how can we do it better? Wrong question to ask. Question to ask is, what isn't my competition doing that I can start doing? And a big part of this is offering what your competition is not doing, so that gives you the unique selling point, or the USP. When learning stage hypnosis, and stage hypnosis is a really cool thing to learn, it takes a little bit of work. However, many people think it's just like magic. I can read it just like I'd read a magic trick, or learn how to do an effect in a book, and I perform it. I practice it, I perform it. That's not the case. In fact, there's many great books out there about stage hypnosis, but I ask you to look at those as an introduction to stage hypnosis. In fact, reading a book and then going on performing it on stage can actually be dangerous. I'll give you an example of this. A friend of mine who is a magician called me about a year ago and said, Dan, I did a hypnosis show for a high school, and I got paid like $1,500 for the show. A bunch of stuff happened in the show that I didn't know how to get myself out of it. And I said, well, how did you learn it? He said, well, I read a book and I practiced it and rehearsed it. But there are a lot of things that happened in the show that the book didn't tell you how to prepare for or what to do. I said, okay, well, here's the first problem. The first problem is you don't have any formal training. So when you become a hypnotist, you need some sort of informal training or some sort of mentor. Doing a video course or reading it out of a book is actually doing you a disservice and your audience a disservice as well, because if anything happens that you need to attend to, then you need to know what to do. And this person who called me didn't know what to do because they just read it from a book and thought they'd go perform it. So here's why I'm shooting this video. I'm shooting this video because I'm teaching a class coming up with my great friend, Michael DeShalit. And these, we're looking for 10 entertainers, and we already have, I believe, 4 people who are signed up for the class. So we have 6 more spots. And these entertainers are people that we want to take and teach this skill to. I've taught many people. Michael has taught many people in stage hypnosis, and we've both taught people from all over the world. He has hundreds of students. I have hundreds of students as well. And many of them are now full-time or part-time stage hypnotists. So here's what I want you to do. If this is something that you want to learn, number one, because it can add more bookings to your calendar. Number 2, you can charge a lot more. And number 3, it's going to give you the competitive advantage. So if this is something you want to do, all I want you to do is type in your name and email address below this video, and then let us know if you're a part-time, full-time entertainer, hobbyist, whatever it is. It's going to send me an email. I'm then going to send one back to you where you can schedule a call with me. The reason why I want you on this call, it's not to sell you anything. It's not to sell you a spot in our training. It's to see, number one, if it would be a good fit, if it's something that we could have, that you have realistic expectations about, and then I'll talk to you about the training. If you don't want to sign up, you don't have to. I just want to talk to you, let you know a little bit more about what we are, what we do, everything like that. So anyway, this is an exclusive training. So as I said, we only have 6 more spots in the training. So please make sure you type in your name and email address below if you want to take this relationship to the next level. So thank you so much for watching this. Really appreciate your time. As always, be well, do good, be true to who you are.